Few. That's not our crowd. Okay, at this time, at 10:48, entertain a motion to come out of executive session where no action was taken.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Other than committee reports, the last thing is discuss and act on Medica health insurance rebate to York County.
Question on that. Is it Medica or?
No, it
Yeah,
isn't Medica,
okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
It
That's
is
fine.
United Healthcare.
Yeah. Okay.
I just read here.
Yep.
Yes, Medica is this year's.
Right.
Medica was last year too.
Yeah, but I think this is,
This is United Healthcare.
because, see,
Oh, we're doing it. like
Medica,
yearly.
no, Medica wasn't last year. We just switched this year, right?
Yeah, but that was, they are J1. Yes, this is United Healthcare. This was prior to that. So anyhow, we received a check this year of $25,568.60. That kickback, you would say, from the insurance company is because they're allowed to make so much profit. And they come in and they bid our health insurance at what they think it's gonna cost them. And of course, if we were healthier, those things don't happen. This 25,000 exceeded what we paid to United Healthcare. So in the past 2 years, we by law have to give this to the employees that are still employed with us and to the employees that have what we call traditional health insurance with us, not the HSA, but have the traditional health insurance. So we have one or two ways. We can either lower their premium for the next year, or we can give them money back. Well, those employees only pay $50 a month anyway, and so we have given money back. And we have given, 2 years ago, we gave $100 back. Last year, the kickback from the insurance company was in the $30,000 range, and we gave $200 back. So it's up to this board as to how much to kick back to the employees. When you think of a percentage, it's right around 2 to 3% is what should be theirs. I mean, so, and we haven't went and broke that out by the penny, but we have given that money back at the rate of just a defined benefit, back to them, because we do share what they pay. Once again, they pay 50, we pay the remainder of it. So, ideas.
Because we know how many,
36 or 7 is what Cheryl's got in front of me here.
So do we pay everything back, or do we pay 90% back, or 80%?
Right.
37 is who would be entitled. That's the employees we have now
that were here.
that was on it then.
So we need to give them something. We could give them the whole check, I mean, right?
Yeah,
If we
but
wanted to.
no.
We're not going to. But we have to give them something.
Well, that wouldn't be. I know what you are. Yeah, so we just have to give them a
Portion of it.
right.
We can't keep it all for ourselves.
Okay.
Unless we wanted to
So there's no
make a
rules.
motion to say, okay, we're going to lower their $50.
Next
Yeah.
year.
And then we could keep it, because then that would qualify, or we have to give a rebate back. So that is a possibility. We could come and say, okay, $10 a month, less, and then that would be $120 value to them. And then we can keep this all. We could do that. Or we could do what we've done in the past.
For HR, I think just a quote payout is probably simpler. I don't know, I guess.
I
but-
assume it's just the same way, she's gonna put something in the computer, and it would just change it for the next year. I guess in lieu of the fact that we did accept the 5% on the county side, 5.5% on the county side, to take that increase and not pass it on to the employees.
Yep.
I would say that we go back to what we did before, of just $100, versus the 200.
Correct.
Because we did take that, and we'd be looking at $3,600, and, you know, of the 25,000. Am I doing my math right? $3,600.
Add another $1,000 to it, you got your 37,000.
3,600.
Yeah, my mind was going in the same place in that we did take an increase in our insurance for 2024, and we did not increase employee contribution. And so I would be on
On board with that.
Yeah.
Any other feelings, thoughts?
Want to do 100?
And that would come out at that last payroll of the year, like we've done in the past.
Okay. I'd make a motion that we use the United Healthcare rebate, if you will, and share $100 of that rebate to the eligible employees.
Okay.
To be paid on the last pay date of 2023.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Gross.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Farrell.
Yes.
And
Yes. Okay. I don't think I've left anything out. I think I am. Committee reports. Who, what, when, where, why?
Well, I met
Anybody?
with Harv this morning, and Daniel questioned him quite severely.
Way to go, Daniel.
I think we got all our questions answered pretty much. And the bridges, is talked a lot about the bridges. Were they important? Could we have left them, or what to do? So I think we did the right thing by improving them, taking the money out of our plan. And that's what we're trying to make the county work and trying to make the roads work and all that. So good discussion with and we got it all ironed out now with the bids and accepted the bids and so forth. Other than that, I had a banquet with Blue Valley. I don't know, I probably need counseling or something. But all the money that they have and all the other things that we want to do for people that are problem makers, Region 5, Blue Valley, diversion, probation, on and on and on. How did we do it in the 50s and 60s? We didn't have all that.
That's a great question.
And it's just, there's no end. That's what's so sad about this. There's no end. And we don't see any improvement. And that's just, and my empathy is leaving me, and I don't want to be a person that doesn't care about the people that are hurt, you know. I mean, I was a principal. Yeah, a kid gets in trouble. What happens? You have a diversion program for them, but you know who has to watch that? It's the principal. It's a lot of work, and they don't want to paint hydrants. You got to make sure they do paint the hydrants, you know. So you're there. It takes another person's. On and on and on. But anyway, this is just a little sermon. But the positive thing about it is that Shar Weber, that's the CEO of Blue Valley, she is unbelievably great. She's been there 29 years. She's got enthusiasm, and she's bound determined to do good for people. You know, for somebody like that running that show, it doesn't work. So hopefully it's working, but the money we spent, the people that spend money on rehabbing houses and whatever is crazy. It can't continue. I can't continue. So, there's my sermon. But otherwise, she's great.
Okay.
Well, you get into a political conversation. Do we teach and enable, or do we teach people to be responsible?
Exactly.
Have responsibility to the situation. And right now, the way things seem to be operating is we're trying to create dependence and compliance, rather than what we're talking about doing. So we need the great people like her out there to put that in the sharp.
But I don't know if she's teaching independency or if she's not, you know?
Do you ever watch television?
Yes, once a
Do you ever
lot.
watch commercials?
Yes,
Every other commercial is about a drug of some
Oh,
kind
I
or
know.
another to do something. I think we've turned this generation into a bunch of dependent people.
Yeah.
They think they have to take a pill to fix everything.
exactly.
But we're the society that done that, by the way. Now I'll do my part. After our last commissioners meeting on the 14th, at a safety committee meeting and that afternoon, and we discussed some different things on panic buttons and stuff like that. And the county attorney's office is getting a new door, I guess, and it's gonna be more secure. This building was built without the idea of security. And when I first got on that committee 11 years ago, I had them come out from Omaha. They did a complete survey of this building, and the cost to make it more secure was so much money that it was just thrown under the table, and it's been thrown under the table for the last 12 years. So we can keep talking about it every time we have a meeting, but there's not anything gonna be fixed unless we decide that we're gonna spend some money to fix it up. And I'm not talking about $2,000 or $3,000, I'm talking about $2 or $3 million. Okay, that was what the safety committee discussed. And we also wanna thank Leila. She was our secretary for the last year, and she asked to be taken off of that. She had too many other duties to take care of. So, Rochelle volunteered to do it. So she's going to be our secretary. If you have anything you want on the agenda, take it to Rochelle, please. And we'll discuss it at our next meeting. Okay, and then at 7 o'clock in the morning on the next day, I had a meeting with the Visitors Bureau, where the mayor was there, and he did discuss the project that they were working on. The city's taken over a lot of expense on that, because when that was first opened up and started, that was kind of an Orville Stair thing, and his wife had just passed away, and the field was named after her. And he ran it for quite a while, but it just needs to be updated, upgraded, and the county's taking over. How many feet of fence they're moving that fence? I don't know
300
how many
feet.
feet, 300 feet.
Yep.
So I thought that was a very good project, and everybody else did too. So that was approved, and I don't think they wanted to bring up anything else that was talked about as far as any other applications. Okay. Well, that's all I had, the Visitors Bureau and the Safety Committee.
I was gonna ask a question, but I'll ask you. Why did it deteriorate, the program,
Say that again.
the soccer program? Why did it deteriorate? What happened? What caused it to go down?
Just not being able to take care of the fields. It costs money to take care of the fields and replant them.
And so then people would quit coming?
Well, I don't think they had
I mean, we had all these people coming, then all of a sudden
yeah,
we didn't.
right
Well,
off
Who
first.
dropped the ball?
Leadership.
Leadership.
Leadership changed.
yeah.
You talking about the mayor's office or?
No, it was
The
never
sports
the
complex?
city.
No. That was
It was
private.
never the city, it was always under what was called the Sports Authority.
That they dropped the ball.
They just, people get tired
Yeah.
of, it takes a lot to
Oh,
do those
yeah.
big events like that.
And the driving force behind it, is kids grew up and weren't playing soccer anymore, I mean, so they're, the pack.
So are there less people
Leadership.
playing soccer now than there
Oh,
were?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think they had like 12 fields out there, didn't they, at
There
one
was-
time?
there was
It was just,
So
but you
soccer's
couldn't tell
become
where
just-
one field stopped and the other field started, and you just walk across the field and walk across somebody's game, and it wasn't really controlled real well. But they did have like 80 teams.
Well, I know
think,
that, it was a
30
big
teams.
deal. So soccer's gone deep down like bowling's gone downhill and that, but coming up is,
I don't know if it's going down,
In
it's
participation.
changed.
it's
It's
changed.
changed,
If
yeah.
you talk to two grandparents that you have sitting here, there are times on a Tuesday or Thursday in the spring and or fall, you can't park in that parking lot out there.
It's full.
And that's country.
Soccer,
Absolutely. Kids all over the place.
so they are still playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it needed some rehab.
Thanks for answering my questions.
Woody? Got anything?
Not county-wise, I have new eyes, so.
Good
I
deal.
get those adjusted, that's a big deal.
There you go.
Escape for a week, or weeks. Anyway, glad to be back.
Daniel?
So after last time's meeting, went to YCDC exec meeting and had a good meeting, covered some projects, talked about the budget, some work to be done there, and that budget will probably be approved at the next executive meeting in December. The YCDC full board meeting is at noon today at the Country Club, I think. Need to verify that so I show up at the right place. And yeah, so the tech committee is going to meet again this afternoon, or after this meeting. Just briefly discuss internet providers. I believe that next board meeting will be coming before the board to make some recommendations on making some changes to the services that are coming into the courthouse. I know that after the safety, I'm not on the safety and security committee, but it was brought to my attention that we still have panic buttons that are not working, and that gets talked about at every meeting, gets talked about at every tech meeting also. So we have been trying to get a fire lit under making those work. I think that our tech teams are working together to get those functioning. It's turning out to be a little bit of a challenge, more even so than what we initially thought, I think. And so one option could be moving to more of a hosted phone system for our ancillary buildings, much like what we have here. I guess at one point in time it was approved to upgrade the phone systems in those buildings, and that hasn't happened. So maybe it's something that we need to get pushed forward, because then I don't understand it all, but somehow those panic buttons would function through those phone lines rather than through the internet connections, and should function more seamlessly like they do inside the courthouse. So there's some things we need to look at
Okay.
there to maybe make that better. But in the meantime, we are continuing to work forward to get the current panic buttons working. There you have it.
You wanna
Is that
say
everything?
something, Josh?
I think we're on the right track. I think we're moving forward.
Well, we discussed that at the safety
Yep,
committee
safety committee, yeah.
also, about the fact that we've got two different suppliers, and they don't always work together.
I think we're in the process of getting that resolved. I think that we've already started to
From-
that. bridge that gap.
From what I've heard in the last little bit, that we're in a better position than we have been in the past.
Well, that's good that the safety committee knows about it now.
that everything? NACO's coming up this, next month, 13, 14, 15. For any that are going, I have some tickets and stuff like that, so get a hold of me if you're planning on being there, the evening of Wednesday, the 13th, and Thursday, the 14th, please. So that is coming up. Also, there is a NACO leadership, that NACO National's been putting out, and NACO Nebraska has been, promoting also in their newsletter. And I'll probably put something out to our employees. It is a 12-week online course, building leaders. And so I might put that out to the employees and see if anybody's interested in doing that, if we can get some more information, and we'll see. You know, maybe some of our younger or newer or whatever, or even our older employees would like to do it. I guess it's a program that was developed by Colonel Powell, and so it would be nice. Colin Powell. Be nice to see if somebody was interested in that. There is a cost to it, but I think that'd be a perfect opportunity for some of that ARPA money, which after today and looking at the fee report, the ARPA money, we're probably down, depending on where we're at on interest. I'm not 100% sure where we're at on interest, but we're probably down around that $1 million left. And we have, I know that there is some more infrastructure projects, and then of course the project on the side of the courthouse, and I know Cal is getting back on the carpet that we've been doing too, and I think there's some carpet needs at the roads department. And then obviously we heard today about, you know, a need for parking up at Aging Services that apparently went through the safety committee, purchasing a lot up there. That's the way Lori indicated it.
We just kind of discussed it.
Okay.
Yes.
So those things are going on. Yesterday I had a visitor. It was our county surveyor, walked in my shop.
Doug?
County surveyor Rex walked in the shop. Seemed to be doing pretty well. So that was nice to see. He's got a long road, but seemed to be doing pretty well. And so we'll keep in touch with him on any needs that we may have in the surveying. He cannot perform that, but he is an elected official. So we talked about some possible fill-ins for him, and as those arise, like he said, usually when the ground got froze, he didn't do a whole lot anyway. He has some filing to do downstairs, but nothing intermediate, and I believe we have access to his office downstairs. And most everything that he has is at the Nebraska repository anyway, so people have that there. What else do we got? You got anything? Okay, opioid money. I was contacted by Region 5, and there is a training going on for opioid money. As we look through once again, our list, I believe we have $23,000, almost $24,000 in opioid recovery funds. And that is something that we need to either look into. Is this something we can expend? Region 5 is interested. If we want, we can just turn it over to them. But maybe this fits in, and I'll visit with Gary just a little about this of what the parameters. We'll look into that money and that funds. But you know, we get this money in, and it sits there. I know I've reached out to the hospital to see if they had anything. They said no. I know me and Josh talked briefly about it. But you know, they come in and $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 increments, but now all of a sudden we got almost $25,000 in there, and if we can use it, we need to figure that out, or move it to who can use it, or who it's for, you know. Lastly, next year is election, as we all know, and the time for filing will be showing up in January 5th is the start of filing, and you know, there's only 2 of us that are outside of that parameter, Everybody else is in the non-presidential election year. So, it will be interesting to see how those things work out. But, January 5th through incumbents is February,
February 15th and non-incumbents is March 1st.
perfect. So, the year's gone by.
It has.
Okay, I don't have anything else unless anybody has thought of something else that just came up. We're adjourned.